Imagine waking up in just 3 days and realizing your blood pressure is finally normal. No headaches, no dizziness, no fear of sudden spikes. It sounds almost impossible, right? But what if the secret isn't in a pill, but right there, in your breakfast? Today, I'll share a simple, natural addition you can make to your morning meal. One that studies show can help balance your blood pressure faster than you'd think. Stay with me till the end, because once you know what it is, you'll never skip it again. Blood pressure. The body's silent signal. Sometimes the body speaks quietly before it screams. You might not notice the small warnings, a little dizziness when you stand up, a headache that feels like tightness around the temples, or that strange tiredness in the afternoon. Most people brush it off, saying, "It's just age." But those small signs often whisper something much more important. Your blood pressure is asking for attention. Blood pressure doesn't rise overnight. It builds slowly, as if the heart is carrying a heavier and heavier backpack each year. When we're young, our blood vessels are flexible. They expand and contract easily, keeping circulation smooth. But over time, the walls of those vessels lose their elasticity. Stress, poor sleep, excess salt, and a lack of good fats all add up. The vessels stiffen, and the heart must push harder to move blood through them. That's when the numbers begin to climb. Now here's the tricky part. Most people feel perfectly fine, while their pressure is already elevated. That's why doctors often call it the silent condition. You might only notice it when your energy drops, or when you can't concentrate as well as before. Sometimes it shows up as a red face, a flushed neck, or pressure behind the eyes. But even then, it's easy to ignore. And yet inside, the heart is working overtime. Think of it like a water hose. If the hose is soft and new, the water flows easily. But if it becomes stiff or narrow, the same water pressure suddenly feels much stronger. That's exactly what happens in our vessels. The same heartbeat pushes blood through smaller or tighter passages, increasing pressure from the inside. Over months and years, that constant tension wears out the vessel walls and strains the heart muscle. The good news, and it truly is good news, is that the process can be slowed and even partly reversed. The body has an incredible ability to heal if we give it the right support. When we nourish it with anti-inflammatory foods, stay hydrated, and reduce stress, our vessels become more elastic again. The heart relaxes. The body finds its natural rhythm. I've seen this happen many times. Patients in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, people who believed it was too late, start making simple daily changes. Within a few weeks, their morning headaches disappear. Their pulse calms, and the blood pressure, that silent signal, starts to settle into healthier numbers. The first step is always awareness, understanding that pressure is not the enemy, it's information. Your body is communicating that something needs balance. When we listen early, we prevent bigger problems later. And sometimes, all it takes is one small adjustment in your daily routine, even something as simple as what you add to your breakfast. So, as we go on, keep this in mind. The heart never stops working for you, not for one single moment. The least we can do is make its job easier. And in the next part, we'll talk about how something as ordinary as your morning meal can become one of the most powerful tools for restoring balance. Why breakfast changes. Every day, your body wakes up ready to reset. During the night, your heart slows down, your breathing becomes deeper, and your cells repair themselves. Then morning comes, and your system is waiting for instructions. What you give it in those first waking hours decides how the rest of the day will go. That's why breakfast is not just a meal. It's a message to your metabolism, your blood vessels, and your heart. When people skip breakfast or eat the wrong foods, their body feels confused. Blood sugar spikes, stress hormones rise, and the pressure inside the arteries can jump even before lunch. It's like starting a car without oil. The engine may run, but it strains with every turn. Now imagine doing that every day for years. Eventually, something wears out. That's one of the hidden reasons why many people develop high blood pressure gradually, even if they don't eat much salt. After 50, your body's sensitivity to food becomes much stronger. What you eat first in the morning shapes how your blood vessels behave for the next 12 hours. If your breakfast is full of refined carbohydrates, white bread, sugary cereal, sweet coffee drinks, your insulin levels rise quickly. Insulin doesn't just affect blood sugar, it also narrows the arteries, making it harder for blood to move freely. That tightening raises the pressure. And because the effect can last for hours, your heart ends up working harder all day long. But the opposite is also true. When you choose foods rich in fiber, good fats, and minerals, the body relaxes. Vessels open, circulation improves, and the heart finds its rhythm again. That's why the first meal is the perfect opportunity to send your body a calm, healing signal. Breakfast can either push pressure up or gently pull it down. Many people think of breakfast as something optional, something to grab on the go. But think of it this way. After 8 hours of fasting, your body is thirsty for nutrients. It's like dry soil waiting for the first morning rain. If that first rain is nourishing, rich in omega fats, magnesium, potassium, and fiber, your system absorbs it completely. Every cell wakes up stronger. Every vessel gets a little softer and more flexible. I often tell my patients, your blood pressure starts not at noon, but at breakfast. If you give your body a stable foundation in the morning, the rest of the day follows calmly. You'll notice fewer energy drops, fewer mood swings, and yes, more stable pressure readings. Some people even find they can reduce their medication dose over time, under their doctor's supervision, just by changing their breakfast routine. It's not magic. It's simply how human physiology works when we stop fighting it and start cooperating. So what exactly should be in that breakfast? It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to taste like medicine. It just needs to include 1 or 2 natural ingredients that help your blood vessels relax, reduce inflammation, and flush out excess sodium. And among those, there's one food that stands out. Tiny, simple, but incredibly powerful. In the next part, we'll uncover this ingredient. You probably have seen it many times on store shelves, maybe even in your own kitchen, without realizing how much potential it holds. It's small, it's natural, and it can make a real difference in just a few days when used the right way. The secret ingredient, nature's power. Sometimes the most powerful remedies are not found in a pharmacy, but in the pantry. Tiny, humble ingredients that people overlook every day can hold the key to restoring balance inside the body. And one of the most remarkable of these is something that has been used for thousands of years: flaxseed. At first glance, flax seeds look simple, almost insignificant. But inside these small golden or brown seeds hides a whole pharmacy created by nature. They are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, plant compounds called lignans, and a special kind of fiber that works like a gentle cleanser for your arteries. Together, they do something incredible. They help reduce the stiffness of blood vessels, calm inflammation, and bring blood pressure closer to normal levels. Naturally. Let me explain it in simple terms. High blood pressure often begins when the inner lining of your blood vessels becomes irritated. This can happen because of stress, processed food, lack of sleep, or too much salt. The body reacts by tightening the vessels, trying to protect them. But that tension only makes things worse. Omega-3 fats in flaxseed act like natural lubricants. They soften the vessel walls and help them relax again, allowing blood to flow more freely. When that happens, the heart doesn't have to push as hard, and the pressure drops. Flaxseed also contains lignans, powerful plant antioxidants that support hormone balance and reduce oxidative stress. For people over 50, this is especially important because the body's own defenses weaken with age. These compounds help the arteries stay smooth and flexible instead of stiff and narrow. And when arteries stay elastic, blood pressure stays in its healthy range without dramatic ups and downs. Another secret power of flaxseed lies in its fiber. Just 1 tablespoon provides several grams of soluble fiber, which acts like a sponge inside your digestive system. It absorbs excess cholesterol, binds to toxins, and helps the body eliminate them. When cholesterol levels drop, the blood becomes less thick, and the heart can pump more easily. That's why many people notice not only better pressure, but also improved digestion and lighter energy after just a few days. Now, you might wonder, can something so small really make such a difference? The answer is yes, and it's not based on myths. Several clinical studies have shown that people who include ground flaxseed in their daily meals experience a noticeable reduction in both upper and lower pressure numbers within just a few days to a few weeks. The reason is cumulative. Every morning, those nutrients feed your blood vessels, calm inflammation, and support balance from the inside out. Of course, it's not about eating a handful of seeds once and expecting a miracle. Consistency is what matters. Just like taking a daily walk or drinking enough water, your body needs regularity to create change. When you nourish it day after day, the results begin to appear quietly. Lighter mornings, steadier pulse, calmer mood. It's a soft improvement, not a sudden spike. Flaxseed also brings other hidden benefits. It supports healthy weight, balances hormones, and even improves the skin and hair thanks to its healthy fats. So while you're caring for your heart, you're also caring for your whole body. That's the beauty of natural medicine. It never treats one symptom alone. It restores harmony across systems. In the next part, we'll talk about how to use flaxseed correctly. Because here, a small detail matters. The way you prepare and add it to your breakfast can decide whether you get all those benefits or almost none. Let's make sure every spoonful works for you, not against you. How to add it to breakfast the right way. Now that you know the secret ingredient, the next step is learning how to use it correctly. This is where many people make a mistake. They buy flax seeds, sprinkle them on top of something, and hope for results. But the truth is, to unlock all the benefits, there are a few simple rules that make a world of difference. Flax seeds have a very strong shell. It's like armor that protects all those valuable nutrients inside. If you eat them whole, most of the seeds will simply pass through your body untouched. That means your system never absorbs the omega-3 fats, the fiber, or the antioxidants that make these seeds so powerful. That's why the first and most important rule is this: use ground flaxseed, not whole. You can buy it already ground, or you can grind it yourself at home in a coffee grinder. If you make it fresh, the flavor becomes mild and nutty, and your body can absorb everything easily. But remember, once ground, flaxseed doesn't like heat or light. It loses its power quickly. So keep it in a tightly closed container, in the fridge, and use it within a few days. Now let's talk about how to add it to your breakfast. The easiest way is to take 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed and mix it with something you already eat: oatmeal, yogurt, cottage cheese, or a smoothie. It blends right in, adds a gentle nutty flavor, and gives a creamy texture. If you prefer a bit of sweetness, mix it with a spoon of honey or a few pieces of fruit. It's that simple. No complicated recipes, no special preparation. Some people even stir it into warm porridge or sprinkle it over avocado toast. The key is to make it part of your morning habit. If you skip it one day, nothing terrible happens. But consistency is what helps your blood vessels recover. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't see the result after one day, but after a few weeks, the difference becomes obvious. You might also notice something pleasant. Your digestion will improve. Flaxseed's fiber helps cleanse your intestines gently, removing excess sodium and waste that can raise blood pressure. Many people report that they feel lighter and more energetic within just 3 or 4 days. That's because your body is finally working without that constant internal pressure. If you're taking medication, flaxseed is safe to combine with most treatments. But as always, if you have a chronic condition, talk to your doctor before making any changes, especially if you notice that your blood pressure starts to drop faster than expected. That's a good sign, but it means you may need to adjust your routine carefully. A few small tips from experience. Drink enough water when you eat flaxseed. Its fiber absorbs liquid, and this is what makes it so effective at cleaning the body and supporting the heart. If you don't drink enough water, it might feel heavy. So, 1 or 2 glasses of water with breakfast is perfect. And here's another detail that makes it easier to stay consistent. Prepare a small jar of ground flaxseed on Sunday night and keep it on the kitchen counter or in the fridge. When you see it in the morning, it will remind you to add it to your meal. Soon, it becomes automatic, just part of how you start your day, like coffee or brushing your teeth. The beauty of this habit is how effortless it becomes. You don't have to count calories, follow strict diets, or give up your favorite foods. You simply add 1 spoon of something natural and healing, and let time and consistency do the rest. Nature always works best when we give it patience. In the next part, we'll look at what happens inside your body after a few days of this morning ritual. You'll be surprised how quickly small changes can lead to big improvements, not just in pressure, but in how you feel every single day. The result, just in 3 days, when the body receives what it truly needs, it responds faster than most people expect. Sometimes the change begins so gently that you only notice it after a few mornings. You wake up lighter, calmer, with a steadier heartbeat. That's how balance quietly returns. It doesn't shout, it simply feels right. After about 3 days of adding ground flaxseed to your breakfast, something remarkable starts happening inside your body. Your blood vessels begin to relax. The constant tension that once kept your pressure high starts to ease. The heart doesn't need to push as forcefully anymore, and as a result, both the upper and lower readings of your blood pressure start to settle toward normal levels. It's not magic, it's physiology. The omega-3 fats calm inflammation, the fiber helps remove excess sodium, and the antioxidants protect the delicate inner lining of your arteries. All this happens quietly, naturally, without shock to your system. People often tell me, "Doctor, I didn't think something so simple could make a difference." But it does. The first changes are subtle. Fewer headaches in the morning, less pressure behind the eyes, more stable energy through the day. Even the mood improves, because your nervous system also benefits when circulation becomes smoother. It's all connected. When the heart feels relief, the brain feels clarity. By the end of the first week, some notice their pulse slowing down slightly. Not too much, just enough to feel calmer. Their skin tone improves, their sleep deepens, and that feeling of heaviness after meals starts to disappear. This is your body thanking you for giving it what it has needed for years. Proper nourishment, not restriction. Of course, flaxseed is not a miracle cure. It's not about quick fixes, it's about gentle restoration. But for many people over 50, this one small change can mark the beginning of a completely new phase of health. Your blood vessels, once stiff and overworked, start acting younger. The heart gains back its rhythm. And the best part? You begin to trust your body again. If you keep this habit going, the effects become stronger over time. After a few weeks, cholesterol levels often improve, digestion stabilizes, and blood sugar stays more even. All these systems influence blood pressure, so as they come into balance, the overall result multiplies. This is how natural healing works. One small improvement strengthens another, until everything starts working in harmony again. Another beautiful part of this process is how empowering it feels. You're not relying on something external. You're supporting your body's own intelligence. Flaxseed doesn't force the body to change. It reminds it how to function properly. That's why it's so safe and sustainable. When used regularly, it helps maintain normal pressure without sudden drops or rebounds. So if you start this tomorrow morning, stay consistent for at least 3 days, ideally a few weeks, and pay attention to how you feel. Notice your mornings, your energy, your breathing. You might find that something inside you begins to settle, like the ocean after a storm. That's balance returning, quietly, naturally, from the inside out. And remember, the heart never takes a break. It beats for you every minute of every day, asking for very little in return, just kindness, nourishment, and calm. Adding 1 spoon of flaxseed to your breakfast is one of the simplest ways to give that kindness back. It's small, it's natural, and it works. So take this as your invitation. Begin tomorrow morning. Let 3 days become a week, a month, and eventually a habit that stays with you for life. Because true health isn't built overnight. It's built one morning at a time, one mindful choice at a time.